The first batch of Filipinos stranded in war-torn Gaza are expected to cross the Rafah border today. A next batch is expected to follow in the coming days. Security officials, including AFP Chief Romeo Browner, have denied the supposed destabilization plot against the Marcos Jr. administration. Browner says his earlier speech had been taken out of context. And the proposed national budget for 2024 has been officially transmitted to Senate. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know as you jumpstart your weekend. I'm Maricel Halili. We begin the newscast with the first batch of Filipinos being allowed to exit Gaza today. Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Eddie De Vega said 20 Filipinos in Gaza will depart to Egypt through the Rafah crossing. Once they have crossed, the Filipinos will be required to leave Cairo within 72 hours. De Vega added that Israel has approved the repatriation of all Filipinos in Gaza. However, because their Palestinian relatives were not allowed to leave, the department cannot say how many Filipinos will be leaving the enclave. According to the agency, all 134 remaining Filipinos in Gaza are accounted for. At the moment, though, only 43 Filipinos have signified intention to leave the city.
We have a slot for 50 in 2 batches. Kung hindi natin kukunin, ibibigay sa iba. At the moment, pinagtatrabaho ng ating embahada ng sa Aman, nagigipag-contact sa ng Pilipino para ikayat na umuwi. Makakabalik naman sila sa Gaza one day.
AFP Chief Romeo Browner has clarified that there is no destabilization plot against the Marcos Jr. administration. Recall that during the change of command ceremony for Westmincom, AFP Chief General Romeo Browner revealed supposed efforts from former military officers to stage protests and unseat President Bongbong Marcos. However, he said he was taken out of context and only meant to say that there were talks of destabilization efforts and not actual plots. Browner said there are no widespread movements against the administration and that he only urged active personnel not to join such actions. In a statement, National Security Advisor Eduardo Año also explained that there are only health exchanges, debates, and criticisms against some policies of the government, but these are within the bounds of democracy. Año also maintained that there is no destabilization plot against the government and that the AFP and the entire security sector is loyal to the president. He also stressed that the sector will not be influenced to join any destabilization plot. The AFP, for its part, has already denied any such plot, saying Browner was misquoted. According to AFP spokesperson Colonel Medel Aguilar, Browner was merely mentioning the reported efforts by certain people to, quote, upset the peace and stability of the country. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said Tokyo, Manila, and Washington are working together to safeguard freedom in the South China Sea. President Bongbong Marcos and Kishida agreed to begin negotiations for a reciprocal access agreement between Philippines and Japanese troops as China becomes more assertive in the West Philippine Sea. Speaking before the Philippine Congress on Saturday, Kishida said a trilateral cooperation between U.S., Japan, and Philippines is now underway.
9月にはマルコス大統領、ハリス米副大統領と3人で初めて意見交換を行い、連携強化を確認することができました。自由な海を守るため、3カ国の協力が進んでいます。
Kishida also visited the Philippine Coast Guard, which has received aid from Tokyo. These include the acquisition of 12 multi-role response vessels and 10 shore-based radar stations. There were also discussions on strengthening the training between the Philippines and Japanese Coast Guards, as well as more frequent trilateral exercises with Japan and the U.S. The Philippines is also considering buying more Japanese ships.
Napag-usapan namin paano kami mag-cooperate, paano kami mag-aral ng sabay upang mas lalo nating matulungan ang bawat isa sa rehiyon na maging stable ang ating mga karagatan. Tayo ay bibili ng mga karagdagang barko Sa ngayon, ang pinag-uusapan, tayo bibili ng siguro mga 5 o higit pang barko. Tayo ay patuloy na magpapadala ng the best talents we have in the Coast Guard to train in their graduate schools.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Maricel Halili. A flu-like illness is now going around. So what are the tips to keep safe? Mobile journalist Francis Orsho tells us in this report.
Anyone experiencing colds and coughs as of late? Well, maybe the better question is, who hasn't yet? Flu-like illness has taken over the country as of late. This is said to be more common during the cold weather. The start of the northeast monsoon or amihan usually begins when we start to feel the cold weather. This weather system carries dry and cold air, but Pagasi says it also brings viruses with it.
Dahil nga sa malamig na amihan, ay paghandaan natin mga kabayan, especially medyo sensitibo sa biglang lamig ng panahon.
With flu season seemingly upon the country once more, over 114,000 cases of influenza-like illness have been recorded nationwide, according to the Health Department. This number is 52% higher compared to the nearly 75,000 reported during the same period last year. But why exactly does this happen so often?
Pag malampig kasi, nagsasara ang lahat ng mga blood vessels natin. At pag nagsasara ang mga blood vessels natin, hindi maganda ang sirkulasyon sa ating katawan. Pag di maganda ang sirkulasyon sa ating katawan, hindi masyado nakakalaban ang ating immune system.
The usual symptoms of these kinds of illnesses are headaches, fever, body aches, and having a cough and cold. But wait, aren't those also symptoms of COVID? So how can we determine that what we're feeling is not COVID?
Lahat ng viruses pwede mag-manifest as trangkaso. Kasama na po dyan ang COVID. Siyempre, malalo tayong mag-iingat kung tayo pa ay hindi bakunado kasi alam natin wala tayong panlaban. So, para natin ma-identify, the best talaga is to do a swab.
Experts also advise to prevent getting viral illnesses by avoiding crowded places and, if possible, not staying for more than 30 minutes to 1 hour. But if you can't avoid it, wear a face mask. Make it a habit as well to drink plenty of water, getting enough sleep, and take vitamins to strengthen your immune system. If you're not sure about your illness, it's best to stay at home until the symptoms subside. So to have a happier celebration during this holiday season, it's best to take care of one's immune system. Mobile journalist Francis Orsho, we are One News.
More people voted in this year's Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections compared to 2018. According to data provided by the Commission on Elections, over 75% of registered voters cast their votes for the barangay elections. Voter turnout for SK polls are a bit lower to 74.3%. In 2018, the voter turnout was logged at 70%. COMELEC Chairperson George Garcia had previously said the agency is hoping for at least a 75% turnout this year. And despite some election-related incidents, the poll body called the 2023 BSK elections a success. The House of Representatives has officially transmitted the proposed 5.7 trillion national budget for 2024 over to the Senate. Majority Leader Representative Manuel Jose Dalipe made the motion to send House Bill number 8980 to the upper chamber. The House approved the budget bill on third and final reading last September amid contentions on the allocations of confidential funds for civilian agencies and the Office of the Vice President. These funds have since been realigned by House lawmakers to agencies dealing with national security. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 9 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Maricel Halili. We are One News.